What's up, Strong Style fans? Welcome to another brand new live episode of Strong Style here on the Outlaw Nation channel. We got ourselves a mega crew for a mega episode for sure. I'm the Outlaw John Rocha, joined by these three wonderful gentlemen. I have some fun talking about the week in pro wrestling. Aaron Turner, you're fresh off a cruise ship. You don't have COVID. You don't have some bacteria in you. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I thought we were coming home at 7 p.m., but it was 7 a.m., so don't let me plan your shit. So there you go.
Chris Burns, you are back. Saw you in full regalia in your pictures there at the Wakanda Forever premiere. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. You know what I mean? It was a long flight back from Wakanda, but it's a really good airline. Really, height of technology. So I had a good time.
Yeah, and as if Chris didn't stand out in what he was wearing, Jay Washington wore an all-white ensemble that was eye-catching for sure for the Wakanda Forever premiere. Jay, how are you feeling, brother man?
I wore all white and sent all white back to Amazon the next day. Piece by piece, Amazon got the returns back. We're not finna play no games. I am here. I am hungover.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you do. Let me tell you something. There's the beautiful thing about doing stand-up and you're actually funny. Some people don't know that. People be like, yo, you want to have a drink? You want to buy a drink? And then you can't say no because you drink tequila. And because tequila is the devil's nectar.
It is.
And so I woke up this morning, was like, thank God for probiotics, and drank a whole pint of probiotics and have a bottle of water. So eventually it's going to be me trying to get washed and wake up.
It's wash time.
Gut health is definitely important.
Safe to say he's not feeling all oozy right now for sure, but hopefully by the end of the show he will be feeling oozy. We got so much to get into here. WWE RAW was just a lot of fun for me. We got to jump into some more of the CM Punk AEW Fallout. This story just keeps evolving with a lot of accusations and finger pointing back and forth. Get into some AEW Dynamite stuff. MJF making that slow, how can I say this, continental drift like move towards being the face character that a lot of people are seeing he is going to become at some point there for AEW. But on his terms, we're going to get into some Smackdown stuff as well and review Tales of the Territory, episode 4, going into Florida wrestling. So there's going to be the CWF there. Going to be some fun getting into that for sure. So remember the Streamlabs and SuperChats are open, ladies and gentlemen. Send them in. As we go along, I'm going to put it in the chat as well, pin it in the chat as well. But send in your support. We got a mega episode and the great Jay Washington joining us. So it's pretty awesome to have the Urban Gladiator hanging out with us. Star of Showtime's American Gigolo, star of the Comedy Store now, star of so many things. So, we got Jay Washington here. So give me some love.
If I'm going to start a comedy store, they can put my name on the wall. I'll take the Laugh Factory and the Improv right now for that one because I'm working on the Comedy Store. Look, I'm working my ass off to get that.
There we go. Laugh Factory then. My apologies. You've seen one comedy club. No, I'm joking. All right. Go ahead, Aaron. Start us off. What do we got?
All right, we had WWE RAW to start off the week. We had Finn Balor defeating Carl Anderson in action. And during that contest, I don't know if you saw this, but Rhea Ripley just put a big body slam on the big LG, Luke Gallows. Pretty awesome moment there. We had the return of R-Truth. Don't forget about his best friend, The Miz. He ended up defeating The Miz after The Miz was distracted by Johnny Gargano, who was dressed like Dexter Lumis. This is a theory for the night, or not a theory. This is a continuing thing all night. Austin Theory defeated Mustafa Ali with help from a distraction from Seth Rollins. He sensed this pattern. Omos defeated 4 local talents. Oof. Elias defeated Chad Gable with an awkward drift away finish. It looked like he got all of it. Baron Corbin defeated Johnny Gargano after Gargano was tripped by JBL, so even more interference. And then in our main event, we had Bayley defeat Bianca BelAir by DQ after Nikki Cross returned and took everyone out, including the ref, which is another screwy finish for Monday Night Raw. So what did you think of this?
I liked it. I thought Raw was actually good this week, whereas last week it was a little bit middling. I thought this one actually came back with a little more fire. The Omos stuff, I don't know, man. It's getting kind of annoying to me. So let's start moving towards something a little bit more concretely every week rather than him just keep beating up local talent and occasionally having a back and forth with Strowman. I want to have that just be him and Strowman the whole time. So it's a little annoying. The R-Truth thing, what is R-Truth, 75 now? pretty incredible to see him still doing his thing, getting a victory over the Miz. The Gargano stuff is really interesting. Not sure where they're going with the Gargano stuff. They're throwing him into so many storylines. So it's just interesting to see what they're doing. Is he like a 5-tool player, a Swiss Army knife right now for the WWE? So they're using him where they see fit because they know it's going to get a good reaction from the audience. Either way, it works. Taking a loss or messing with Miz, it all works for what they're doing right now. Finn Balor getting the victory was good there. But, I mean, Dominic getting on the mic, fuck you, Chris Burns. I'm starting to, after this promo, I was like, shit. Is it working? Is it starting to work? God damn it. So I'm just kind of slowly moving towards the Judgment Day Appreciation Society, so to speak. So I might be actually paying my membership for it. We'll see in the next few weeks how it goes. But I like Dominic feeling much more comfortable. I like him referencing Eddie. All of that, and then really bashing Ray on. But then Rhea Ripley, as you mentioned, Aaron, taking out Gallows, that was incredible. I had shades of Hogan lifting the Andre the Giant there when she did that. It was tough, but it's good to see her getting more in the mix of things. Want to see? My girlfriend was watching with me because she was hanging out on the couch, and she's like, "What the hell? Who the hell is that?" And I had explained to her, and that she was only in her mid-20s. She's in incredible shape. The Corbin stuff is useless. I don't know what they're doing with that. It's doing nothing for the audience. They're fucking dead. They're more into JBL than they are in Corbin, and that's not a good thing when you're trying to go that angle. Elias, it was awkward, and I'm always confused about why he's not more over than people think he should be. It's so weird to me. He's like the new Ziggler, where he got over for a little bit, and then it's just a constant him coming back. He never quite gets back up there. People enjoy him, but it's never quite that explosion that you want to see. And he's a damn good wrestler, I think. And the Nikki Cross stuff with Bianca and Bayley was interesting because I didn't know whose side she was on. She took out everybody. Then she beat up Bayley specifically, but she cost BelAir the win. So it was all very strange and confusing for me. But I was great to see Nikki back, dropping that hero bullshit once and for all, and being maybe this kind of crazier version of what she had done in NXT, now in a bit more of a glossier package. And I'm here for it. So I'm excited about it. Chris, what did you think?
I mean, I'm just happy that you're finally hearing a little music. You understand? Hearing a little music. I've been singing the song of the Judgment Day for the past how many weeks now? You know, under the guidance, leadership, some might say, of Finn Balor. There seems to be some confusion on who the leader of the situation is, but it's the Prince all day long. And happy to see that Carl Anderson got a solo match. Like, he doesn't do many singles in WWE, but that's how he came up in Japan. He's currently a singles champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Shout out to Gato one time. And
he said he will defend that belt at any time. So there you go. Yeah, absolutely.
So I was happy to see that. That was fun for me personally. Shout out to the brother me softly real quick. And don't you dare, Aaron. And then, of course, the Rhea thing, Shades of China, which is kind of what I think we've all been saying for the longest time. Like, that's how you need to use her. And then I love that she's being kept away from the women's division right now. Like, let her, run wild in this situation. And then it's going to be that much more impactful when she does return. I mean, I know she had that match in NXT, but sometimes that could be a different universe when everybody watches it, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And then, Dominic with the line of the cinch with not that, first of all, saying that he's this generation's Eddie Guerrero. Then he backtracks. No. Eddie Guerrero was that generation's Dominic Mysterio. First of all, I do not believe that he wrote that line, but whoever did, kudos, damn it. Yeah. Goddamn kudos. I'm with you guys. Corbin. I don't know how long he's been in the WWE at this point.
Too long.
The only time I've ever found him entertaining was Bummy Corbin. That is the only time. I'm not sure what the experiment is here to just it's like almost like they're trying to see how many times can we try to push him and fail. Like, maybe that's the experiment. Like, they want to meet a quota for not being able to get somebody over. Because, good Lord, how mad. Yeah, because it amounts to the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. He's an annoying mid-card heel who can be entertaining, but they keep making him the same character every time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, unless you're going to go in a new direction, it's a waste of time. JBL is not going to make it work because, like you said, he's way more over than his act, and that's, like you said, a big problem.
Just Gargano messing with his white hat got way more of a reaction than anything in that whole match. Just that little few second sequence got way more of a reaction.
Absolutely. And and then the Gargano thing, the Gargano part of it makes it confusing because he is so entrenched in the Miz Dexter Lumis stuff, but then he takes a loss here to Corbin. It's like, are we going to merge the two feuds some kind of way? Is there going to be some interconnectivity? Because otherwise it's very bizarre to have him take a loss when he's the babyface antagonist of the first feud. So it's a little confusing. Like I said, Gargano is very entertaining. He's a good enough promo cutter he can always get his heat back no matter what's going on. So I'll let it play out a few more weeks, see what happens. I'm done letting out the Omos stuff play out. Yeah. I thought that they were giving us a kind of a tit for tat. All right, I'm going to squash 3 people. I'm going to squash 4 people. I'm going to squash 5 people kind of thing between him and Strowman, which I would have enjoyed that. And just every week they're beating more and more people by themselves until they eventually collide. Yeah. But they didn't even give us Strowman on SmackDown, did they?
No.
So it's all right. I guess they forgot that they're in a feud. I don't know. I'm just not. It's boring at this point to see him beat the local talents. I don't care anymore. It's done. Elias, I know you said that he's a good wrestler, John, but
I do. I like him in the ring.
He doesn't do it for me in ring. He doesn't do it for me when the bell rings.
Why he's not over? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I just think that he's a very paint by numbers kind of between the ropes guy. The gimmick and the guitar and the interruptions, that's over.
Right.
To quote Bruce Pritchard, then the bell has to ring, and then it's like, all right, I don't know. Fair enough. And then look. Am I going to ever be upset about the GOAT being the world champion? Absolutely not. Bayley should have been world champion already. My concern with all this, even though I thought the Nikki stuff was interesting, now all 3 members of Damage Control got their belts like 2 weeks after they should have gotten them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Damage Control loses the title tournament, and then they win the titles like 2-3 weeks later.
Yeah.
Bayley loses to Bianca, wins the title a week and a half later. It's like, why didn't they just pull the trigger? You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't the stable be that much more impactful if they would have just won it on their first try? But now they kind of look like, I don't know, like they're all undeserving champions, and that doesn't work for what the stable is supposed to be. So I don't know. But like I said, the Nikki stuff is interesting. I loved Nikki Cross in NXT and the fact that she is unpredictable. She's not on anybody's side. She's just out of her mind. That's the best version of her that I've seen so far. And if that's the version that we're getting, I'm into it. How does this factor into what they're building of War Games and all that? I don't know. So that makes it more exciting. So I'm into it.
You shouldn't win the title, right? Bayley.
No, just DQ. Just
DQ. So she didn't win the title.
That's coming. They're matching up at Crown Jewel, so that'll be in a couple weeks.
Her winning that was part of leading towards Crown Jewel.
Got it.
Jay, your thoughts on all of this? I mean, a lot went down here. Look, you're a professor in the squared circle. You know what's going on. You've been around the booking. What do you think about how things went down here on Raw with all the people here?
The biggest problem with Baron Corbin is he didn't change his fucking music.
Yes.
Fair.
More than anything else.
Yeah.
You still have him have the happy Corbin. He needs to go back to first generation Baron Corbin music. He has to go back to that. Go back to looking how you looked when you were the lone wolf, even though now you got JBL with you. Mm-hmm. The thing is, JBL is supposed to be this mouthpiece to get him over, like Paul Heyman was to certain people. Mm-hmm. The problem is, if he's still looking like Happy Corbin, no one cares. No one cares.
Good point.
Right?
Good point.
Almost the problem is after Strowman, you have where can you put this dude? I get what y'all saying. We tired of seeing him do jobbers, but again, Triple H likes the business the old school way, and that's what this is. But the problem is the dude that it's leading up to okay, we give them 2-3 matches, and then there's nothing else we can possibly see. So it's either gonna be this or it's just then he's gone. Because there aren't a lot of there aren't a lot of other proverbial monsters in the WWE. It's literally just Strowman and Omos.
Yeah.
We've already done Omos and Bobby, and like we don't need to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What you gonna do? Omos versus Brock Lesnar? That's gonna be racism personified.
Yeah,
Nope.
If Brock wins.
Nope. Because Brock gonna nope. Nope. Just leave that at that. I do agree with Rhea Ripley being China. That's what Triple H sees in her. And do not be surprised if she don't hold a regular singles title. As much as they're gonna try to just like figure out how to pull it off, because I know they're trying to keep the intergender away from things. But again, Rhea staying away from the women's division is perfect because you can set up Bianca and Rhea at WrestleMania easy.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the two of them away from each other. Chris, when it comes to damage control, I don't know at this point now if Sasha and Naomi are coming back anytime soon. Because it looked like they are scrambling what to do. They're like, shit, we thought we'd have had them back. Unless they are popping up a crown jewel and just popping up and challenging.
Yeah.
Which, again, crown jewel is a WrestleMania level event now. Let's just keep it, even though it's when Vince had it, it was a glorified house show. Yeah. But for the old Middle East crowd, it was a WrestleMania. Look, you got that, and remember they would go to Australia and do Super Show. There is a possibility they can pop this up. They can pop them up. Like or Triple H is this smart. Keep doing what y'all doing to Sasha and Naomi. Mm-hmm. You got to change your Twitter, do all that. Because the more they do all these things and separate themselves from WWE, when they pop back up, the pop is bigger.
Yeah, Jay, they're rolling together. Even at the Wakanda Forever premiere, they were there together. They've been doing a lot of events together. So this idea that they went on their separate paths, it did not happen. So there must be something in the conversations in the background where they're like, stay together no matter what you do, because then when you come back, it'll be like you didn't leave. You really never left because you stayed together as a tag team, even outside of the WWE. It's kind of genius.
It is. And also, like I said, we talked about all the interruptions. Again, Triple H has an old school mindset. You could find old school shows that damn near every other match had an interference or a DQ.
Yeah, true.
1 hour ago, Sasha Banks tweeted, "I hope the rumors are true." Whatever that means. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Stir it up.
You know what I'm saying? Let them play. Again, the more they stay away from this, the more Sasha Banks and Naomi are at red carpets, doing fashion weeks, doing all this other stuff. Everybody starts to be like, well, hold on. Maybe they aren't about to come back.
Right.
They aren't coming back. They're stepping away. They're away. They're done. They're done. Her name officially is Mercedes Vernado on Twitter. Yeah. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. Bam. Here come that music. You like, what the fuck? But it's perfect. No. It's like he wants, because everybody's expecting it. Remember, he's given all these returns. Look, we're about to talk about one on SmackDown that just happened. And everybody was like, excuse me, what? Who? Really? But all these are happening. And remember, you're like, all right, well, now he's got his Infinity Gauntlet filled up, right? Now he's getting his 10 rings on. And so,
hey,
it's like, who else is there? Yeah. And so those are, at first it was Bray, but the last two he has to get back are those two.
Yeah.
But it's got to count because we've been getting so many, we've gotten all these returns back to back to back to back to back. That's honestly, when we all knew Bray was coming back, but that's the biggest one. So I think it's all saving for that. And again, I don't care about Elias because no one cares about Elias as the wrestler. No one does.
No one wants to walk with him? Is that what you're saying?
We want to walk with him to the parking lot and watch him leave.
Jesus.
Look, the best thing they did was a 5-minute his brother Ezekiel.
Oh, yeah.
And that was cool. And then they were like, well, okay, we can have him go back to Elias. And now, I am Elias. No, you are Ezekiel, and you got multiple personalities. But we already got a dude like that on SmackDown. So we don't need two people to have it.
Do you think the Nikki thing is being set up, Jay, real quick, to divert away from, like, do you think Bayley is not going to win this title and Nikki now is going to take?
I will fight everybody if Nikki Cross is the person that takes that title off Bianca BelAir.
No, I don't mean that. I mean that she's going to, like, Bayley's not going to win the title from Bianca, so they got to put her in another feud while someone else comes up to take on Bianca. Do you
There's
think
nobody you built up?
Here?
There's nobody you built up. Nikki Cross just needs to be this loose cannon and she fights off everybody.
Okay.
The only problem I had with Nikki Cross's return is only one issue I had. You can't come back being crazy and look glammed up like that.
Like, you look great.
You look great. You look fantastic around this crazy.
Looked. Yeah, I know.
Like, you had never seen pictures of her backstage. Like, she's amazing.
Yeah.
But damn it, you can't come out here. Look, you see me in these leggings. Yes, I see you, ma'am. Like, see you with this jacket and you out here crazy. You get your little crazy thick ass over here. Like, that's how I feel.
Fair enough. Aaron, your thoughts on everything that happened on Raw? There was a lot that went down. What did you feel about it overall and all the different matches here?
First of all, Elias, I'm gonna walk with Elias here and say that if we could just get that Elias that they gave us the first time him and Rollins had a thing, like when Rollins was on the announce table, like on the stage, and he was like celebrating, Elias just whacked him with the guitar. Like if we could get that Elias back, that would be good. Otherwise, we're kind of in park. Like we're neutral here with Elias again. When we just did this Ezekiel stuff, and it's like, God damn it! Like you just can't. They can't seem to figure out what to do with him. Rhea Ripley's a beast. Carl Anderson, I haven't seen very many singles Carl Anderson matches, and I got to say, Chris, I was impressed. I was impressed with what Carl Anderson brought to the table. R-Truth continues to just be
timeless, ageless,
timeless. I'm telling you, the funniest thing I've ever seen live in my life was at the Royal Rumble in 2016 when R-Truth came out and got the ladder out from under the ring, climbed to the top of the ladder, and just looked up. And everybody knew what he was doing. Everybody went with it. It was just, oh my God, what a moment. R-Truth is timeless. This Miz, Dexter Lumis, Johnny Gargano stuff, I hate it because you brought in Johnny Gargano, you made him a goof. And you've waited way too long with this Dexter Lumis stuff. I don't care. I don't care what they do. I don't care what they do anymore. Baron Corbin, never a fan. The stuff with Bayley and Bianca, though, I agree with a lot of what you guys have said. Like, I really think they are keeping Rhea and Bianca away because I've said many times, like, this is your Austin and Rock of the women's division. Like, they could wrestle each other as face, heel, whatever for many years. And Jay, you said they're not building anybody up for a feud with Bianca. I have a sneaking suspicion.
Oh, who do you think?
Somebody that, has got married recently and has been gone since WrestleMania.
If you say fucking Carmella, I'm walking off the show.
No. The Queen, Charlotte Flair.
Ooh.
Charlotte Flair comes right in and fills that spot.
But what about SmackDown, though?
They got Emma now, so I don't throw her over there.
Thank y'all for having me, guys. It's been fun. I'll see you later. Okay?
It's I don't know, man. I think we're going to see a lot of shifting around Survivor Series time because we're going to have War Games, right? So I feel like that's where Sasha and Naomi kind of figure in because I would like to see them and Bianca on a team against like Bayley, Damage Control, and then they can fill out the rosters however they want. That's where I would see them coming back, but they definitely got to come back soon because this is like you're tugging us too long. Like let us free of this. Let's see it.
Did you almost start this? Did you almost start it? Give us free. Yes.
Well, I was actually I accidentally made a masturbation joke, and I was just trying to walk. I was trying to walk away.
That's
from
where I
it.
was.
Yeah. I was trying to back out of it, but yeah.
I don't walk with that. Yeah, fair enough. Let's hit some of these super chats that have come through here. Chris Miner saying, if everyone was alive and in their prime and we had an Anoa'i family battle royale excluding Rock and Roman, who would win that battle to determine the head of the table? Umaga would be my pick. Wow.
One answer.
One answer
you
only.
could put Rock and Roman in there, and the only answer would be Haku. Dub. It's over.
Okay.
Yes.
He'll kill you.
Wait, is he in that family?
Yeah.
He's Tongan, but he's part of the whole thing.
Wow.
Okay, I was gonna say Yokozuna.
Yeah,
I was
just
gonna say Rodney. It's
Rodney
Rodney.
could win. Yeah.
I say Yokozuna. Yeah, that's my vote. Absolutely.
But
It comes down to
Haku
final
would be
two
the
or
winner.
the
How
final
do
two
you
are
get
Yoko or
Yokozuna out of
Rikishi.
the battle royal as it is the problem? Like
Yeah.
that, it just sheer physics
You
would
gotta get
suggest that it's very difficult to get him out.
The ring's
of
got to
Royal
be
Rumbles.
concrete. The ring's got to
well,
be concrete.
The
whole-
ring, the ropes.
The
What are you talking about? The ropes. You
Haku
put the
would find
stick
a way.
motherfucker on the top rope. The rope just like,
Haku would find a way. He'd probably eat him to get him out.
Yeah, fair enough,
spit his
fair
bones out.
Fair enough. All right. Luis Enrique de la Pena says, good morning, fellas. Great to see Jay Washington. I wanted you to win on the weakest link. I respect you blocked me on Twitter, but that's in the past. Let bygones be bygones. God bless you, man. Well, there you go. Luis, don't do stupid shit. You won't get blocked. That's how it works in life. Just throwing it out there. Are you feeling oozy today? Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that for sure. Thanks, Luis. And Young Boy says, gentlemen, I have come to the conclusion that Jay Uso is a hater because he was the only one that got his ass beat to be in the bloodline.
I mean, this is kind of true. He got gang initiated, and Sammy got the, hey, you want to come sit down? All right.
Sit at the table. Yeah, that would make me not feel very oozy.
Roman beat his ass for half the Thunderdome.
So good. So good.
Roman
won the
beat
Andre-
his
he won
ass
the
like
Andre
the
battle.
NWO used to whoop the Macho Man weekly on Nitro.
It's true.
He won the Andre Battle Royal, though, guys. Come on. That means something to somebody.
Orlando Orego says, happy Saturday, guys. Watching on delay. I so agree with Jay about tequila. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I don't drink it. I take my clothes off when I drink tequila. I don't like it.
Okay.
K-Dog says,
You see, Jay got his shoulders out.
K-Dog says, are you guys feeling oozy today? But I think they may trade Charlotte for Becky to get the Becky Ronda match. Yeah, maybe. That could happen, I suppose, down the road. And Becky coming out this week talking about how she feels she's better as a heel and that she helps the business more when she's a heel. So maybe kind of foreshadowing how she's going to come back.
That would have to make Ronda a face, and Ronda Rousey doesn't know how to be a face. Ronda Rousey doesn't know how to be a heel. You know what? I'm gonna stop talking.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Yeah. All right, no Streamlabs. So those are the super chats. Let's take a quick break. We're going to jump into the next topic right after this. All right, man. What do we got, Aaron? Where are we going?
Possible dog beating ups, and I don't like it. I don't like this story, but apparently we are very close. AEW has come out to say that they have finished the internal investigation with CM Punk and the Elite. And it looks like, based on some Twitter stuff and a little vignette they showed, that the Elite may be coming back pretty soon, and that CM Punk probably isn't. This, of course, comes after that all-out media scrum. Ace Steel, who has already been released, and I don't need to tell you what happened with the brawl, but it looks like somebody hit Punk's dog, Larry, in the face and knocked out his teeth.
They kicked the door in, and the dog was behind the door. This is according to Punk. They kicked the door, or sources close to Punk, kicked the door in, the dog, and it hit the dog in the mouth, and two of the teeth were loosened. Oh, Jay's gone there. And they had to take the teeth out. So that's Jay's reaction to CM Punk. All right, go ahead, Aaron, keep going.
And the Elite, all of those guys are disputing the fact that they did not kick the dog's fucking teeth out. I cannot believe we're talking about this.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with this. Again, someone's beating up Larry the dog, and here we are, CM Punk and the Elite. What is going on? It's awful.
I apologize, Murderant. I apologize. Yes, correction. Super kick the door. Yes, absolutely. Super.
It is yet to be confirmed if they slap their leg when they kick the door.
Oh. Chris, you're close to the AEW people. Please, help us make sense of this. What is going on? A lot of accusations, a lot of finger pointing, a lot of CM Punk making it. Yeah, all right, go ahead.
A lot of howling.
What do we got, Chris?
Okay. Have you ever seen videos of like Karens like reporting black people minding their own business. And then when the police get there, there's a long ass story about how she was victimized.
Yes.
Some kind of way. That's what this feel like to me. It feel like, all right, man. Like, first it was like, no, they came in, they kicked the door in, and they got in Punk's face. Then it was like, okay. They didn't kick the door in. They just kind of knocked and aggressively, and then he answered, and it was like, we don't know who threw the first punch. Okay, Punk threw the first punch. Okay, he threw the first punch, but he felt, threatened, and he felt like they were gonna throw the first punch. Oh, okay, wait, well, they hurt his dog. They kicked the door. When the door opened, the dog hit the dog, and then blah, blah, blah. And it's like, just stop it, white people. Stop it. Just like own it. Like whatever happened, just own it. This is it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous.
And Larry was sitting in his bed, and then the door opened, and Larry was like, and then the door hit Larry in the face. Larry ain't do nothing. Why, Larry?
So I'm fighting for the honor of my dog, and it's like, oh man, like,
yeah.
Listen, man, Punk. I've been like, listen, I was clearly pissed off. These motherfuckers came in my dressing room while I was clearly pissed off, got in my face. People get punched that way. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Straight honesty.
That's really it, right?
Man to man. This is what happens. Man to man.
Yeah. And I think that both sides are just being so, I'm going to say it, bitch made about the situation that it's like, now we done got into this whole, he's got to go. He's a lock. Like, fights happen all the time in sports, in anything physical. Yeah. And these men put the Jay. No, you guys are putting your bodies on the line on a regular basis, and you got to trust another human being with your well-being. It gets heated. You know what I mean? When that's the business that you're in, and if somebody right now, if I was to get pissed off and somebody just got in my face immediately after I'm seething, you know what I'm saying? Who knows what I'm going to do next? That's not excusing what Punk did. Right. The bottom line is, you can't tell me that this situation is so beyond the pale that they can't figure it out as adults. Jordan Poole got punched. Like, I mean, he got
dropped.
Jay and I got an expression. He got stole on. It wasn't just a punch. You know what I'm saying? He got his chin checked, his jaw realigned, he got his mind made correct, and they was in the preseason game 3 days later playing next to each other, high-fiving, giving each other assists. Like, what we doing? Come on, man.
I know, especially after what we're going to talk about in a little bit, after watching that most recent episode of Tales from the Territories, and this motherfucker brought his father and his history as a POW into an angle, and you're going to tell me that you're complaining about this shit, you're crying about this shit in the back, is very true. True. I like this. Chris Taylor said, we need McGruff the dog to solve this mystery, the crime dog.
McGruff the crime dog, of course. Fred McGriff? Oh, no, McGruff. Okay, got it.
Senior Nurse said, oh my God, Karen, CM Punk is a Karen. CM Karen, Zeno Hour, Karen and Punk. I like these things. And Zeno also said, next week, the Bucks held Larry at gunpoint. I had to do something. So, yeah, a lot of this going on. Aaron is our resident white guy. Help us figure this out.
Oh boy. Guys, I have a giveaway.
What is wrong with you?
I've said from jump about this elite Punk thing that they should have all been fired and fuck them all. And I still feel that way. I think they're all terrible, except for Kenny. Keep Kenny. The rest of them can go. Because we don't need you, bruh. We don't need you. We got FTR.
Do you think Kenny would stay if they did fire the elite? Do you think Kenny would stay? Or out of solidarity, would he go with them?
Where's he going to go? WWE? No, thank you.
He ain't going to WWE.
So where's he going to go? Back to Japan? Maybe. Yeah. That might work. I don't know. Like, they're all going to come back. All of those guys are going to come back, and Punk's going to be the odd man out with a lot of money. So let's just fast forward to that part, because we all know it's coming. We all know that Kenny and the Bucks are coming back and that Punk's never coming back and he's going to get paid out. So let's just skip to that. I'm so sick of hearing about this every single day. And then AEW and Tony Khan don't say anything about anything. It's like, this guy's hurt. They say nothing about it. This person's this. They say nothing about it. And then when like a guy like Ariel Helwani like puts Tony to the, like takes him to task, he's just like, can't talk about that. Can't talk about that. I get that there's legal issues,
right?
But like, give me something. Like, give me something. Like, do you like CM Punk? Just say yes. Like, just say that. That's all you got to say. Like, it's infuriating. I just don't care anymore.
It's all coming out through sources. Nothing is coming out through the horse's mouth. It's all coming out through sources connected, and it's their way of creating like barriers or buffers between them, and those sources are having the fights online, causing the fights back and forth about this whole thing. And Jay, what's also weird to me as a company here, they say they finished their investigation, but they never interviewed Ace Steel's wife, who literally sat there and watched the whole fucking thing happen. And they said that interview, from what we're hearing from the sources again, because she just didn't participate in it. And I'm like, what? That's the one person you should fucking interview, is the person outside of it who watched it all go down to hear what happened. It wouldn't be an unbiased thing, obviously, because she's married to Ace Steel, but you'd at least have a different perspective from someone who wasn't throwing punches, wasn't kicking doors into dogs, or supposedly, allegedly, or whatever. So it seems odd to me that they would close their investigation without talking to this woman. You know, it seems odd to me. What do you take from this entire situation? Because it's not showing up for the product in the ring. I think the product in the ring is still kicking ass in AEW, but this backstage shit is threatening to really sully it.
Here's the biggest issue. You're not going to talk to anybody. You want to get this over with. You want to try to sweep this under the rug because if the Bucks and Omega leave, that is officially the nail in the coffin of AEW.
Really?
Okay. It's a wrap.
It will kill it. The company, look, the company can be, people can keep saying what they want to. The company is hanging on by a thread right now because there's way too much backstage drama for a company that's 2-3 years old.
Yeah.
Way too much. They got to bring them back, if for nothing else, to try to say we have the nucleus of this company. Because Cody left. If the Bucks and Omega are gone, that's it.
Wow.
Right? They're not going to talk to him. They're going to try to say, look, Punk was here, he's gone. And you about to get a bunch of CM Punk references and promos for the next 7 to 8 months, if not longer.
Writing right now.
right now. You're going to get a bunch of CM Punk references and promos and raps and everything. And it's just like, all right, it's going to have to happen. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But Tony Khan is not the dude to be in front of the camera talking about this consistently.
Right.
I know he a friend of the show for y'all. But
we tell truths here, man. You know my channel. We tell truths no matter what.
But he's not, look, you're the guy with the money. Yeah, stay the guy with the money. And then people will say, well, what about Vince McMahon? For all of Vince's faults back in the day, Vince knew how to convey what his product was.
Yeah.
Tony can't right now. Because you don't, look, you got people that's like, wait, what are you doing with this person? What are you doing with that person? But what's going on in the back over here? What's going on over there? It's too much. It's too much.
Fair. Aaron, what do you, well, let me throw in on this. I mean, looking at it from outside, yeah, it's all bad, right? It's like dating that girl that, like, is your friends are telling you over and over again, it's not the right thing for you, or dating that guy is not the right thing for you. In public, you guys seem okay, but then behind the scenes, you hear about all this drama, and it's like, there's way too much drama. Just, you got to get rid of it. You got to cut it. And it seems like Punk is doing a lot of face saving, brand saving, and trying to make himself be the good guy in this whole situation. Look, it was 5-on-1. They attacked my friend's wife. They attacked my dog. It's all a lot of face saving from Punk so that he can retain that status of his out in the professional world and out in the fans. And there's a lot of rumors that, you know, Triple H might be slowly warming up to the idea of bringing Punk back. Would be interesting. You could repeat Austin versus McMahon all over again. Even though Triple H can't fight, you could repeat a version of it with Triple H sending out his people against Punk and all of this. So there's possibilities to play with here. I don't think he belongs in the WWE either anymore right now with the way they're changing things, but you never know. So if I was Punk, I think I would just kind of chill out, let this whole thing blow over. People are going to love him no matter what. This scrum, I don't think will change any hardcore Punk fan. from their, because they weren't there. They didn't witness it. They don't know what actually happened. So let it die down. Take your money. I mean, take less and then roll the fuck on out of there and go do something else with your life. You got enough cash. You can move on. The whole thing that's dragging out is just, it's bad for everybody. I think you guys are all right. It's bad for everybody. Just fucking end it already and move on.
Here's the thing: he could get out the business altogether. And I don't say that just. I don't just say that as a personal hate. Yeah. You were gone for 7 years, bro.
Yeah,
you were gone for 7 years.
You were able to pay your bills for 7 years after you left wrestling. So
yeah,
I think you're fine. Yeah.
You did it. You came back. You did it. People didn't think it was going to happen. You did it. You could go back away. And it's, again, it's not to say this just as a personal hate, but it's like, all right, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah.
We got him back. And now he's gone.
Everybody and their mother's hosting game shows. I'm sure he could host a fucking game show. It wouldn't be an issue, for God's sakes. All right. Anything more to say on this, or shall we move on?
Let's all just move on from that as well.
Okay.
God.
I'll take a quick break. All right, let's move on. What do we got here next, Aaron?
All right, we're talking about the latest episode of Tales from the Territories. This one is the CWF Bloodstains in the Everglades. We had a roundtable this week that included Kevin Sullivan, Steve Kern, you may know him better as Skinner, B. Brian Blair, Jerry Briscoe, and Bob Roop. Got to get into that story about protecting the kayfabe with Roop and Eddie Graham, which kind of led into the origins of Hulk Hogan, aka Terry Bollea. Yeah. We had Kern versus Roop in the POW backstory Rocha was talking about, and then at the end we had the conversation of how CWF morphed into FCW, which eventually, of course, morphed into NXT. Yeah. And next week, Chris, I know you're excited for this one. John, you as well. Stampede, the heart of wrestling next week. So. Thoughts on this episode of Dark Side of the Ring?
Can we just get a Gordon Sully biography? I would love a Gordon Sully documentary, man. That guy has been involved with so much of the foundational pieces of wrestling that ended up becoming what they became. Interviewed so many of the greats on their way up into becoming one of the greats. It's just, or some of the greats. It's just great to see him again being a part of this as they go along. But this might be my favorite episode of the four, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of stuff I didn't know about it. Plus the military angle and all of that. I had no idea. For me, who loved and tried to convince a certain somebody to put actual heat into his program so he could stick around, I loved hearing yet again another early wrestling promotion that was very clear about wanting to have actual heat. Not like where they were legitimately were, but you're showing what could happen if you have actual heat and the fans buy into it. That's how you put butts in seats. That was great. I mean, the POW angle, my God, that's a line that I don't know how anybody could cross, but damn if it looked like it didn't work. Hearing about the fight, the 1 week fight, that was genius by Dusty. Hearing all the different things Dusty did in this episode in terms of booking and whatever, and the angles that he wanted to play out were great. Hearing about the Kevin Sullivan and his Army of Darkness, seeing again the Lula Vachon thing where she gets her head. That was great to see all over again as well. And B. Brian Blair, the Iron Sheik hates so much, having him talking about sticking his ass out to a restaurant full of people. All these things were just great. And to hear how Hogan was seen in the crowd by Gerald Briscoe. They had meetings with him afterwards and hearing how he took a broken ankle and that kept coming back. So for all the shit people give Hogan, they think he was a prop made 80s star who slid out of a fucking gym. This guy paid his dues in many, many ways. So I get it. Racism stuff aside, I totally respect that people hate him for that. But there's too much hate on Hogan without reminding people, without people knowing his beginnings and how tough he actually was and what he did to get in this business and stay in this business. And I think the line of the documentary or this episode is Kevin Sullivan saying, what if he doesn't come back after, I forget the Japanese wrestler's name.
Hiro Matsuda.
Hiro Matsuda. What if he doesn't come back if Hiro Matsuda doesn't break his ankle? Do we have professional wrestling as we know it today? And that moment blew my fucking mind. A great what if in professional wrestling for sure. Chris, what do you think of this documentary? Did you see it?
I'm saying with you, man. Florida wrestling, all I ever hear about it is, Dusty down in Florida, booking the things and, all that. But and then also I've always been For me, the thing that stood out the most was the Kevin Sullivan stuff because I've never seen a lot of footage of it. You know what I mean? I've heard tale of how influential what he did with his Army of Darkness was, but we talked to Raven last week. Yeah. And do you get that character without what Kevin Sullivan was doing?
Great point.
And corrupting people, you know what I mean? And kind of like, wait, what is happening here? Is it supernatural? Is it some devil shit? Like what? I don't fully understand. Look at what's going on with Bray Wyatt currently and everything he's done in WWE up to this point. So that's really what the highlight for me was. The rest of that, most of the, I'm gonna be honest, the rest of the episode I watched after the Black Panther premiere, and I was kind of like hazy. So I'll let you guys talk more detail about that, but that's the stuff that stood out most for me.
Fair enough. Jay, did you get a chance to watch this? Any thoughts?
No, I didn't. I didn't. Hearing about it has been very interesting, though. Kevin Sullivan is an interesting just dude in himself. You know, the evil dude. You're like, hey, bro, are you really sacrificing things? Like, you really, you got Satan on speed dial, don't you? Like, you don't have to light candles. Like, you got a special cell phone, like you Kevin Feige, to the nether regions to call him. But again, the Hogan thing, yes, we know about Hogan breaking his ankle. We know about, look, it takes one person always to be propped up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the business is hard. People have broken limbs. People have been concussed. Just training to get in the business.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
just train. And the training back in the 70s and 80s. Look, let me tell you something. When they say hazing, they mean beat the dog shit out you, because the wrestlers back then wanted to protect the business by any means possible. There wasn't this just, oh, you're a 175-pound kid. We'll buy you some pants off Hot Spots and some kick pads, and you can be a wrestler. No, you had to earn and prove you wanted to be here. And they was going to beat the shit out you for about a couple of weeks before they were like, all right, you ready to learn the basics? And you're like, wait, the basics? Like, they didn't beat the dog shit out. So to hear about all that, and then the stories, again, if you've ever been in the locker room with some of these vets, you hear the stories they tell. But then to hear the stories that you haven't heard, you like, oh my God, how are y'all not in prison?
Yeah, that's right. Like, that's an excellent point. You hear some of those stories from the 70s and 80s. You're right. How are these motherfuckers? And look how much you can get away with in the South as well if you're just a pro wrestler. Well, yeah. It's insane.
Oh, if you were a pro, and if you were known, you were a bigger celebrity than like a regular pro athlete. Mm-hmm. Because if you were in Memphis, Florida, Georgia, and you were a wrestler, you came in a spot, they were rolling out red carpets for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as you didn't hurt anyone's fucking dog.
Knock their dog's teeth out.
Don't super kick my dog.
With the slap the leg. This got me while I kicked it.
Kick the shit out of my dog just now.
Aaron, there's so much in here. I mean, you're from Florida. You're there still now in Orlando. So, like, this must have felt so familiar to hear these stories and hear these interactions. I'm sure you've heard some of these stories already, but like just the breadth of them. I mean, homie flying his fucking plane through Disneyland's fireworks displays.
Oh boy, yeah.
Eddie, and then Eddie beating the shit out of the guy who was crawling to the door. Eddie Graham, like telling him, just absolutely beating the fuck out of him to the point that the guy was crying to let him come up. That kind of stuff is just insane, as Jay said. The initiation, not only did you have to get your ass kicked, you also had to take a lot of shit. Like B. Brian Blair, they mentioned all the ripping he took for like a year from everybody. So you really had to pay your dues. And I'm not going to be honest with you. I was like, I know it led to a lot of dysfunctional families and therapy and all this kind of shit, but I do kind of miss when men were men and didn't cry all the time about shit, that you actually took your fucking lumps. And
you wouldn't have a Sammy Guevara if it was still the same.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, can you imagine? So, anyway, so sorry, Aaron, just go on a little bit tangent. What did you think about the whole thing? What stood out to you?
Never been in the business, never taken a headlock, never done anything like that. But I'm just here to tell you that if there was ever a wrestling school that involved Kevin Sullivan, Steve Kern, Brian Blair, Jerry Briscoe, and Bob Roop, that is 5 guys, maybe minus Brian Blair, that could beat the living shit out of you anytime they want. They could do anything they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't surprise me that they are stretching people. We're going to hear a lot about stretching people next week for sure with Stu Hart. But yeah, those guys are all double tough. You think Jerry Briscoe, just like 70 years old, can't hook you? He'll hook you. He'll still hook you.
If
but that whole
hook you, you'd be hooked.
Exactly. And by the way, the airspace around Disney is now protected. I don't know if it's because of that, but it is protected. You cannot just fly drones and shit over Disney. You can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
That story with Steve Kern and Bob Roop was wild.
Wild, dude.
Like, they talked about it, right? They talked about talking about it, like, hey, are you okay with this? And his dad was a POW, and it's like
twice.
Twice. And Bob Roop comes out there and says, well, you know, your dad was a POW twice, so to me, he's not a hero, he's a coward. And I know that they talked about it, but if you hear those words, your dad's a two-time POW, you didn't know if he was coming home, and he's back. And you hear those words, he talked about it, he's like, I ripped the door off the hinges. I went and ran down the aisle, knocked the cameraman sideways. Like, it was just, and they went at it. Like, that's heat, man. That is heat. That's a heat magnet. So that was cool to see. You know, you get the Hogan backstory, which is pretty well known. But I wish they would have touched on it more. But they also have a whole documentary about the history of FCW. But Steve Kern, a.k.a. Skinner, taught so many of the young people that we have now. Big E, Xavier Woods, like all those, like Paige and Sasha Banks, and like everybody that came through FCW, like, was helped by Steve Kern. And of course, Dusty and Regal and these other people too. But Steve Kern had a lot to do with it. And for them to keep developmental in Florida, very cool. So exciting episode. Probably not my favorite. I like the 2 Memphis episodes the best. Those were so good. Okay. But yeah, next week will probably be my favorite. So
I like that we didn't have a young guy trying to steer the conversation. It was all old dudes sitting around shooting the shit. And listen, they're only telling you the stories that are palatable to make it seem like it was interesting and cool and awesome. There are probably some really ugly, tough stories that they are not telling you about, that they put motherfuckers through. You know, as Jay said, people getting hurt just in training, but you can only imagine how much shit that if they were to actually talk about, you'd maybe change your mind about some of them if they actually told their truths, because they were young and tough and mean, and there wasn't a lot of like fucking therapy to figure out emotions and trauma and shit. So God knows some of the shit they put through. So this is a fun program to watch, but it's not the entire story for any of these territories. And there's plenty of documentaries on YouTube or wherever you can find some more stories that are fun. So if nothing else, this is a guy's gateway drug to get into knowing more about these territories and the history of this stuff that we love today. So yeah.
And boy,
anything more to say on it? Good.
There were several moments where I thought Aaron Turner was immortal because there were so many people in those crowds who looked like Aaron Turner. I was just like, yo, wait. Oh, wait, that's not. Wait, oh, yo. Oh, no, wait. Yo. So that was fun for me. That was a little game I was playing.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised.
Thank you for that. Also worth mentioning that current WWE Universal, I don't know, Mega Champion Roman Reigns and AEW World Champion John Moxley both came through FCW. Both
the legacy's still going, which is really what a lot of these documentaries have been pointing out. Each episode of this documentary or this series has done. So, all right, let's take another quick break. We'll jump into our next section of the show here right after this. All right, Aaron, where are we going?
We're going to light the fuse. We're going to bring the boom. We're actually going to talk about AEW, unlike Tony Khan. We started off with the Blackpool Combat Club. Hey, we started with the Blackpool Combat Club getting a win with the neutralizer from Claudio Castagnoli on Chris Jericho. Swerve in Our Glory won by pinfall with Ground Zero from Keith Lee on Dax Harwood to become the #1 contenders for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Anyway, Bryan Danielson wins by referee stoppage over Sammy Guevara. American Dragon Bryan Danielson. Jamie Hayter wins by pinfall over Riho with the Ripcord Lariat. Love to see that. John Moxley wins by pinfall with the Death Rider to retain the AEW World Championship. And MJF finally, I guess, fires the firm, and they attack John Moxley, and they turn on MJF and beat him up too. So that was AEW in a nutshell.
Jay, thoughts on this? Why don't you lead us off on this one?
Well, Jamie Hayter is finally doing something. Hopefully they listen to people because everyone wants more Jamie Hayter. Like everybody's like, yo, about time let her shine. Riho is like 27 pounds soaking wet. So whenever she does something, I'm just like, what? Huh?
Thank you for that.
But hey, that's what happens when you're Kenny Omega's girlfriend.
Oh my.
Unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed. Yeah, never mind.
Please,
Never mind.
let's not get into Cora Jade and Braun Breaker. But anyway, go ahead.
Wait, what?
Let's not walk this road. Let's stay.
MJF turning face is probably the dumbest thing that happened in this whole company.
Really? Oh shit. Okay.
You know why? That
Why?
man is lethal on this microphone.
It's true, he is.
He is lethal. You don't have to make him a face. Let MJF be MJF. That's it. Okay, so now we got to worry about this. Oh, now he's got to fight the Firm before we finally decide to do this whole thing where he gets with John Moxley before we finally give him the title. Again, I said this when it happened at All Out. They were going to drag this shit out unnecessarily.
Yeah.
I said, just have him cash it that same night. Do you know if they cashed it the same night? But unfortunately, now that I think about it in hindsight, we wouldn't be caring about it as much because the damn scrum would have happened still. But nonetheless, ain't no point in dragging this out. You know what's going to happen. And also, let John Moxley take his vacation.
Please.
Just give him the belt. And also, what are we doing with Bryan Danielson? What are we doing? Like, we know we're not giving him the title anytime soon because we're not going to put it on MJF just to have it to get taken off of him by Bryan Danielson. Because if you are, then you are absolutely a fucking moron because that's stupid. But what are we doing? We're going to split up Swerve in our glory because why? Black people can't stay together long, clearly.
We have a unity problem.
You know, all of a sudden now Swerve want to scissor me daddy ass, and now you got Keith Lee. I can't believe this happened. Oh my God.
It's a handshake.
I'm done. I'm done.
You done? Okay, all right. Aaron, what are we going to do next on AEW?
I'm here to alleviate some concerns. I really think that MJF will end up in the end just being like I feel like in the match with Moxley, he's going to take out some kind of foreign object, the ring or something, and he's going to pause and the crowd's going to build it up no, don't do it. And then he fucking does it anyway because he's MJF and he doesn't give a shit what the fans think. That's what I want to see. Do I think we're going to get that? I don't know anymore. Because if Moxley goes away for vacation, please give this, he's supposed to be on my cruise, but give that man a vacation, and then now you've got, if MJF is babyface, who's your top guy? Who's going after him on the other side? Miro's never on TV. We haven't seen Lance Archer anymore. They haven't built up a viable contender for him. That's a heel. So I don't understand why you would do that. And then even on the babyface side, if he stays heel, he's got, like you said, Danielson. He's got him, and then
Sting,
maybe Claudio. Oh God,
Darby
maybe
Allin?
Claudio. I don't know. It's a mess until we figure out what's going on with the Elite. Don't say Jericho Haskell. I know you did that on purpose. No Jericho ever on that bloodsucker. So I just don't know what they're going to do here. I don't understand what we're doing. Hopefully it goes the way that I'm going. Jamie Hayter definitely deserves a bump ski. I would like to see her and Jade. Well, that's true. I'd like to see her and Jade tangle. I don't know if she needs to beat Jade, but I think they could tangle, and I think that would work, and that would be good to watch. I think
to unify the belts if she beats Toni Storm.
You see, you're all over this unification of the belts, and I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. They love their 50 belts. They love to have them, even though Jade is the TBS champion and she's only on TNT. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Wardlow's the TNT champion. He's only on TBS. It's stupid. So I think that Hayter is that diamond in the rough. We talked about the Owen Classic, right? I said this is a vehicle for somebody like Jamie Hayter or Anna Jay to win and get a big spotlight shined on him. And what do? They gave the DMD. So, of course. And now it's let's see what Jamie Hayter could do. Let's see what we got. Just like they did with the Acclaimed. They saw what they had.
Yeah.
They delayed it, and then they said, we're going with them because they're too popular. We have to go with them. So let's see what we got in Jamie Hayter and then figure it out from there.
Okay. All right. What stood out to you, Chris? What do you want to talk about from AEW Dynamite?
Here's my concern about sweet, lovely Jamie Hayter. I see the difference is with the Acclaimed, the men's tag team division, while what they're doing with FTR is just bad.
Confounding.
It becomes less confounding as the weeks go by because as much as we've heard, like, well, the Young Bucks book the tag team division and they're jealous of FTR. And the reports are, no. They don't feel jealous of FTR. And then their booking gets weirder and weirder and weirder every single week. So to me, less confusing. Now it's becoming very clear what's actually happening there. The AEW women's division, it always is confounding, always is confusing, always is not good. And so how many times have we done this? It was like, oh, Britt Baker's great. She's killing it. She's on the mic. And then fizzled. You know what I mean? Completely fizzled out. And it was like, oh, Thunder Rosa. They got to give it to Rosa. They got to put the belt on Rosa. She's got to be the one. They put it on Rosa. Fizzles out completely. Yeah. Oh, Toni Storm, the new shiny toy. Oh, yeah, Tony's getting momentum. Give her the belt. Completely fizzled. And I'm worried that that's what we're doing with Jamie. The fans have chosen Jamie.
Yeah.
They want her. They want her to be the champion. And I feel like the really terrible, nonsensical booking is going to ruin her too and dry out her whole situation. So it's like, I'm very concerned. There's talented women in this division, but give them something to do. Give them a story. Give them a personal issue that makes it matter. Like, it'd be so much different right now if Britt Baker was the champion and Jamie was slowly breaking away from that faction.
Good point. Yeah.
But what did they do? They teased her leaving the faction and brought her right back into the fold. Garcia. The same thing they did with Sammy Guevara. Same thing they did with Daniel Garcia. Yeah. So then it didn't even have an impact that storyline happened the way it did. I don't know, man. I as much as a fan of Jamie Hayter as I am, like I said, I just have big concerns. Very interesting to see that Chris Jericho took a pin. Does not do that very often and takes it to Claudio of all people in a tag team match. I guess, we'll see what happens there in the next episode of Ring of Honor, which is slowly becoming what AEW is on a weekly basis. No plan for Bryan Danielson. Literally everyone on this show said it. He should have been the champion.
Yep. Should have never gone to Mox.
Yeah. Definitely should have won that. And everything else was kind of paid by numbers on this episode. But what I'll say of this about the whole MJF thing, I see some of the fans in the chat are talking about it.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting what MJF has been calling himself upon his return.
Mm-hmm.
He's calling himself the devil.
The devil.
One of my favorite sayings is the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was pretending that he didn't exist. And so how else do you pretend that you don't exist than pretend that you give a shit about what the fans think, give a shit about whether or not the firm helps you, and I'm going to do things the right way. Like, why is he making a point to be like, you stay back now, you don't help me in these matches? Why'd you hire him in the first place then? You know what I'm saying? If that was the whole point. Yeah. So I think that he's going to, it's definitely a swerve. This is my prediction. I may be 100% wrong. Things could change. But I think that it's all a swerve. He's hired them to beat the shit out of him so that he has some foes on the way to Moxley, and Moxley's not going to see it coming when he mollywops his ass on the side of the head with that damn ring. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and then if piece de resistance to me would be if then Regal was MJF's manager.
Oh, shit.
This is what I wanted for you all
along.
Now
we're talking.
This is what I wanted. This is why I met, in the back in the day,
right?
Did what I did. This is why, and then that pays off that incredible promo we got between the two of them a week or so ago. So that's where I think we're headed. That's where I hope we're headed. Because to Jay's point, MJF ain't a baby face.
Yeah.
He ain't a baby face. He just ain't. He just not. He don't want to be one. If the fans want him to be one, that makes it even better for him to be like, I'm not going to give you what you want, because that's what the heel would do. So it's great.
I think it was all there in that promo he delivered with Renee. By the way, fucking great. Just absolute great. And shout out to Renee to play along with it, because he, told her to shut up, and he told her all these things, and with all due respect and all of that. It was a great promo that kind of laid the groundwork for what you guys have been talking about here in your opinions on this. He's was like, hey, Virginia. And he goes, and for all your shortcomings, I still love you. So he's not away. And he's looking at the ring. He's like, but I'm still MJF. I'm still who I am. So he's telling you in the quick comments that he is going to stay heel. He is saying that even though he's kind of messing around and enjoying the love and having them doing a sing along with the MJF instead of with The Rock about his saying, he's still telling you who he is. Him making fun of Moxley in front of his wife, for fuck's sake, that is a heel move, for God's sakes. And Renee has to take it. It's perfect, right? And then Stokely coming out, him knocking the mic out of Stokely's hand. That's not a face move. That's a heel move. He's letting you know that where he is. And so, like you said, Chris, by the end, if he makes that turn and goes Regal, whatever, he can say, you idiots, you bought the whole fucking thing. But I was telling you the whole time that I am who I am. You're the idiots. You should boo yourselves for even fucking believing I would do that, you morons. It makes him even more of a heel and gets that huge heat for him. So I hope that's the way they go. Even though I didn't like it with Garcia, I didn't like it with Guevara, I don't like it with Jamie Hayter. This fake turn, I think, could work if MJF does it perfectly. Then it opens a whole door, because if Omega comes back, Omega could be the face taking on MJF, and that's a fucking program you could work for 6 months to a year. That would be fantastic to throw into the mix.
Well, listen to what you just said.
Yeah.
6 months to a year when you got these other players that you're still waiting on.
Fair enough.
Again, Bryan Danielson is just sitting here in obscurity.
It was a great match with him and Sami, too. Like, he did a fucking great job in that.
Of course.
Yeah.
But again, everybody kept saying, again, we're not just looking for great matches with Bryan Danielson. You're like, yo, this dude should be AEW World Champion.
Yeah.
But also, we don't want to see that belt play hot potato.
Right. That's the place they're in right now. Yeah, it's a great point, Jay. So, yeah. So we'll see how it all plays out. But I like how MJF is going. I like what they're going to do, and hopefully they don't do a face turn with him fully, where he stays this kind of heel, hardcore heel. The other side, Hayter, I think she looked green still in the Riho match. I mean, the finisher was way too quick, way too close, clumsy and awkward. And I think Riho did a nice job, considering she's like 100 pounds lighter than Hayter. Like, Hayter's all muscle. So, but it just.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, she is.
Get down with the thickness.
Two C's. But yeah, I liked the overall match, but Toni Storm coming out, and it is Hayter going at her from the ropes, not Baker. That tells you where they might be leaning towards in this whole situation. And you think about Hayter, it could be Baker who turns on Hayter. It could be Baker who kind of turns her face by hitting her from behind, by getting Rebel with the crutch to hit her from behind, saying, you wanted my smoke. You didn't earn my smoke. I'm the leader of this fucking group. Who do you think you are? Everyone's chanting your name. Fuck you. That helps her get over even more so as a face, like immediately. That could be the angle they go with. Then she Jones with Tony, and we'll see where we go from there. The other side is that she does get the belt, but I think it's still too soon. We'll see what happens with that. Anything else that I want to talk about? No, I loved the ending for the Jericho thing. I mean, Claudio going through the entire fucking society and then pinning Jericho. That was great. That was absolutely great. And yeah, Danielson and Sammy Guevara. Look, for all the shit Guevara takes, that motherfucker can wrestle. I don't care what anybody says. That motherfucker can wrestle. And I think Tay Conti is being slept on as a really good valet/manager on the outside. I've seen other people do that role and they just overplay it. She's doing it really well. Her straining as she yanks Sammy out of the ring while Daniel is celebrating, or Bryan Danielson is celebrating, that's great little character shit that makes it believable. So I think they deserve much more credit than they're getting. But yeah, Danielson delivering great matches, but where is it all going? Jay makes an excellent point there. So we'll see. Anything more to say on that?
Yeah, I have a question. Why not put Claudio with a guy like Wardlow? Because they don't have to be like face and heel, but like we need to see what we have in Wardlow, right? He's 34 years old. He's kind of in that young Batista thing. He's a TNT champion, but he doesn't really have challengers. He's in this weird tag team with Samoa Joe. Put him with Claudio and see what he's got. Like,
would it be Wardleo? Like they're fucking doing that Samoa Joe bullshit?
No, I mean wrestle each other. Wrestle each other.
Okay.
I just sometimes you have to see what you got. Like I said, like they did with the Acclaim. Sometimes you have to see what you got. Okay. And if you want to make Wardlow this big star, which they totally pumped the brakes on him, put him with a guy like Claudio. Don't put him with Danielson. Put him with a guy like Claudio that can help get him over and teach him a thing or two in the ring. So do that. Make it interesting at least.
All right, fair enough. All right, let's take a quick break. I don't see any Streamlabs or Super Chats. If you guys want to send them in, we're on the tail end of the show, so send them in now. As we go into this last section, we'll be right back right after this. All right, man, let's head into SmackDown here as we wrap up the show. Aaron, what do we got?
All right, let's go. The Brawling Brutes win by pinfall with a small package, with Pete Dunne getting the victory over Sami Zayn. It will be the Brawling Brutes versus the Usos at Crown Jewel for the tag team championships. The Bloodline almost comes to blows when Jay challenges Roman's authority after Sami calls him out. Not very Usi of these guys. New Day win by pinfall with the Midnight Hour on Mansoor. Braun Strowman cuts a promo. We don't need that. Emma return. Oh, I kind of blew right past that. I'm sorry, guys. Ronda Rousey had an open challenge, and who answers this open challenge but none other than our friend of the show, Tenille Dashwood, aka Emma, returns and then loses. Hit Row and Shinsuke Nakamura, their mystery partner, win by pinfall with the old Kinshasa, as Nakamura hit it on Cruz del Toro. They defeated the Lucha Suits, aka Legado del Fantasma. Karrion Kross wins by pinfall with a forearm over Madcap Moss, significant other of Tenille Dashwood, aka Emma. Bray Wyatt cuts a promo, and Uncle Howdy comes for him, who looks oddly enough like his own Uncle Barry Windham. So there is SmackDown in a nutshell.
Chris, what do you got here?
So here's
the pause in it. So
no. I was just trying to see where to start. So let's start with the Bloodline.
Okay. Oh my God, that's the story. Yeah.
Here's what's fantastic. A couple things. Oh, the story is so good that Roman don't need to be there for it to be good, and then he shows up and heightens everything. That's how good Roman is right now.
His look up, Chris, when he said, "I don't care."
I'm gonna down with the tribal chief.
His look up, that's perfect acting.
Single one of us seen a father type figure in our lives make that look, and we knew that was our ass. Every single one of us has seen that look and went, "Damn, I went too far. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry." You understand? I'm sorry. It was beautiful. And I mean, this is a long story that's been playing out. This is a long ass story. And I am not bored. I am still engaged. I am still entertained. I am still intrigued. And so entertaining that Sami Zayn literally made everyone break character.
Oh my God.
He was so funny in what he was doing.
Fucking Jay.
Roman laughed. Jay laughed. Jimmy was laughing. Solo, you can't tell is alive or dead sometimes, was cracking a smile. Sammy is just in his bag right now in WWE, and it's just effing beautiful. It's just effing beautiful.
Jay Uso looked like someone on SNL. He looked like he was
because he had to keep putting his face down. He was like,
he was trying to get himself toughed up. It just didn't work.
It was so damn funny. It's just great. And then even the backstage stuff when Paul Heyman brought up Brock Lesnar winning in his third match in the UFC, winning the title, and then Roman again with the look like, are you talking about this white boy in front of me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't bring that. Oh man, it's just so good. Everything about it is just so good. I just gush on it, give flowers to it every single week. Everyone is at the top of their game. I got no complaints whatsoever.
Yeah.
No, we won't complain yet. I'll say I'll talk about Shinsuke Nakamura instead. This is a guy who just perpetually over no matter what he does. And oh man, I just think back to when he won the Royal Rumble and what a wasted opportunity that was with him and AJ, and not giving him the title and really kind of putting the rocket to him, because that dude is just, and he is an advanced wrestler age at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And his heat just never goes away. Because I saw people complaining like, well, I don't get it. Like, those are two new teams, Legado del Fantasma and the Hit Row. Why would Shinsuke pick up the win? Because he's Shinsuke fucking Nakamura in a match with two, you know what I mean, in two factions. Of course he's going to get the win. What are we talking about?
He's 42, by the way. 42.
There you go.
His age is 42. His body is 56.
Yeah, he's been through some things. Very surprised and pleasantly surprised by the Emma return. And like you said, Jay, Triple H going for the 10 rings now. He going like, I'm bringing my original NXT class back through this bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? I done made Finn Balor a big deal again. Sami Zayn a big deal again. Kevin Owens a big deal again. Oh, guess what? I'm going to do a curveball at y'all motherfuckers, and I'm bringing Emma back, and we going to see the glove. We going to see all that. Oh, man. Because I think she's fantastic. I think she's absolutely fantastic.
Great.
Happy to see her back. And I'm glad we have a new regime in WWE that's not upset with putting couples together again and letting people be with their significant others, not putting them on separate brands and all kind of weirdness. So that's cool to see too. And I thought she had a great showing against Ronda Rousey. I think, proving that again, she can still go. Absolutely. Yeah. The Shayna Baszler stuff. How long have we been talking about this on this show?
Yeah.
Put them together. Let them dominate. Give them the belts. Have Sasha and Naomi challenge Ronda and Baszler for the tag team titles. Right. You got a huge program if that happens. There was something I didn't like. Oh yeah, Karrion Kross. Like I keep saying every week. He beats him with the forearm. That's all you got? All right, cool, man. I guess.
Chris Hero did that for years. Come on.
Yes, man. Oh, maybe it's because he was wrestling Madcap Moss. Maybe it's because it's what I've been saying, that when the bell rings, ain't much to Karrion Kross. Y'all can love him all you want. Ain't much to him. Thank you. I'll take it from my fellow member of the Black Dude Content Club. There's not
That's the name. That's the name, by the way.
That's a shirt right now.
That's the name, Chris. We're using that.
Yeah. There it is. So I just can't. I love the entrance. I love the presentation. I think he has the look, brother. But the graps. He don't got the graps. Somebody get Heyman in there to play hide the weakness doctor that he does, because it ain't there for me. And then we close the show with Bray Wyatt. You know what the fundamental good thing I think about this Bray Wyatt stuff is week to week to week? Mm-hmm. Each segment ain't that long.
Yes, no, you're right. It leaves you wanting more. Yep.
It's perfectly long. Pause. But it's just like exactly what it needs to be. It's exactly what it needs to be. It doesn't drag on too much, doesn't give away too much. You get a little bit of the real Bray, then you get whatever the hell is going on that screen. Yeah. I'm very uncomfortable with Uncle Howdy. The mask hurts my spirit. The fact that his name is Uncle Howdy hurts my spirit. I don't like any of it. I'm disturbed by it all, and in the best possible way. Excited to see more. Yeah. Great episode of SmackDown.
Jay, what do you got?
The Bloodline and Sami Zayn is the best thing going in all of professional wrestling right now.
Yeah, I agree.
It is the great because that build, yes, because that build again. We all know, and I say it every time I'm on here, and every time to everybody else, that inevitable ass whooping. Oh my God, that's going to come. Is going to be the greatest thing ever. Because if you want the bloodline to get nuclear level heat, you wait till the right moment to just sit there and go. The fact that Roman said, I'm gonna change his name to Sami Uso. I was like, yo. I didn't know that the New Day were going to end up at Crown Jewel, so them taking on the Brawling Brutes is cool. So, but you have them and Solo there because Sammy for sure ain't going. He never goes. That's right. He never goes. I'm not going. They gon' hang me. We're not doing that. Braun Strowman cutting the promo. Why does Braun Strowman need to talk?
Yeah, I know.
There's a reason that MVP is with Omos. There's a reason. Braun Strowman's greatest thing he's ever done was an accident. Okay? Was saying, you'll get these hands. Was the accident. And it was the greatest thing. Emma and Ronda Rousey, okay, cool. The women's division is stacking up. Yeah. Now there are legitimate contenders. I do think about what Raquel Rodriguez said about having a women's intercontinental title at this point. But I don't want that to get lost in the shuffle. And then we're like, yo, we got the women's tag titles, women's world titles, women's mid-card titles. And you're like, wait, this gets confusing. Who goes where? Sometimes you just have great pins. I'm 100% with you, bro. Chris, when it comes to Karrion Kross, your finisher is just a forearm to the back of the head.
Yeah. You Lex Luger?
The Rock's was an elbow drop. What are you talking about? It's about
it really wasn't. It's the Rock bottom.
Yeah.
The elbow drop was the icing on the cake.
He won a few with the all right, fair enough. A leg drop was Hogan's. Come on.
Yeah, and we all saw how people kept being like, that is not possible. Okay. We saw how everybody was like, no. Look, the Ultimate Warrior's finisher was dropping you out of thin air.
It's true. It's true.
He picked you up, pushed you, and let Jesus take the wheel. Put a forearm to the back of the head, which people use in a regular match.
True.
That's the problem. Like you can see that in a match in a minute. That's why the super kick isn't a finisher anymore. It's in a match. Look, Hit Row and Shinsuke, yo, biggest drop ball, like you said, Chris, not giving Shinsuke the title. Biggest drop ball. But then again, Vince was like, well, the Japanese saw him win the Rumble. That's good enough. That's not how this works, Vince. And Bray Wyatt is a goddamn genius.
Yeah.
Because this man's first program is Wyndham Rotunda versus Bray Wyatt. And it is the greatest thing ever. Because you are literally like, how is he going to pull this off? Because those promos are 45 seconds. Then here you go. I'm good. It's not 5 minutes. It's not dragged out. It's like, this is what it is. That's it.
Yeah.
It is the most genius shit ever. Because also, you know, like I talked about earlier with Nikki Cross, you don't know where he's going. Again, Uncle Howdy, we thought the Fiend was terrifying.
Yeah.
Uncle Howdy looks just as worse. Tom Savini is a mastermind. Because that's who makes his mask.
Yeah.
Tom Savini makes his mask. When Bray wrestles the Fiend, when Uncle Howdy and the Fiend come and jump this nigga, what are we going to do? Because they're going to jump him, and then everybody's going to be like, how in the fuck did this happen? Because this ain't no Thunderdome.
Yeah.
This ain't no you can cut the tape, edit it, post, and make it look like that. It's going to be somebody literally backstage built like Bray Wyatt about to come jump Bray Wyatt, and you're going to be like, what the fuck is that?
I mean, to make an angle out of your mental health issues, I mean, you've got to walk that line so well, and he is. It just perfectly walked.
What do you think the Fiend was? I mean, when he did the Firefly Funhouse because he was already like, I'm showing you how fucked up in my head I can be.
It's true.
And it's been a through line from the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know how long y'all were watching NXT, but the story of Husky Harris was that he got lost in the woods and was possessed by something in the woods.
Yes,
and when he
been a
emerged, he was Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
So it's like this has been from the start. Like it's unbelievable. This
is not a change. This isn't a change of course. This isn't a brand new direction for this dude. This has been what it's been the whole time. This man has to go down as one of the greatest character wrestlers in history.
Undoubtedly.
And I literally will have to say, and people gonna think this is blasphemous for me saying it, he has just passed up The Undertaker. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Taker being Taker, when Taker decided to be himself,
yeah,
that was the part people were like, "Hey, bro,
the American Badass, you mean?
The American Badass one."
You do that dead guy stuff again?
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? When he was around here with a fade, when the Undertaker had a fade, everybody was like, "Hey, bro, hey man, you can go get that long ass trench coat again, bro. Can you not be coming to the ring to Kid Rock? I'll kill you. Like, if you can die. Like, we didn't want that. But Bray Wyatt, every character has been the same vein all the way through.
True.
Even when he was, again, Rambling Rabbit. That's what the Eater of Worlds was. Mercy the Buzzard. Husk, all these different incarnations of him. The through line, and this is to where we get when this motherfucker become WWE champion. You're gonna be like, you know what? Everybody, let Karrion Kross run up. I want him to sacrifice Scarlett to the hourglass.
There we go. All right, fair enough, Jay. Aaron, counter or your own thoughts on SmackDown here? What works for you?
Well, as a member of the white delegation, I will stick up for Matt Riddle, Karrion Kross, and Brock Lesnar. So here we go, fellas. I like Kross. I do. I think that the problem with Kross is he's smaller than you think.
Yes, he is.
In person.
Yes, he is.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So
Kevin is not big at all, bro.
Exactly. It's kind of a problem.
Okay.
And it doesn't surprise me that Jay and Chris have a problem with it because they know. They've seen him. And I saw him. And I said, oh, he's really not that big at all, is he? And then they're trying to make him 10 sizes bigger than he is. He's not as big as Drew McIntyre. Not even close. Drew McIntyre's a fucking giant. Next to Karrion Kross. So I need a little more. I need you guys. If I'm gonna go with the Good Brothers, if I'm gonna give you that, you got to give me some Kross. You got to give me some Kross. You got to run with it just a little bit.
That's not a trade-off, brother.
Fine. And to be fair, The Undertaker in his jean jacket as the American Badass with his red flowing hair looked like my Uncle Terry. Rest in peace. So there's that. But the thing with SmackDown, though, is like it's always must see. Like Monday Night Raw, I feel like I can take or leave. Like, I catch the replay. Like SmackDown is like, I gotta see it. I gotta see what's going on. Because that's where the juice is. And you get Bray Wyatt, you get Roman Reigns, you get Rousey, you get all these people that you want to see. And the stuff with Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns, I don't need to rehash it. It's just so epic and amazing. Like, I want them to beat down Sami Zayn so bad that they do a stretcher job. They shave his beard. They shave his head. Like, they just disgrace Sami Zayn. And then eventually, he comes back with Kevin Owens and they do the thing. That's what I want, and that's what I hope we get. Like, I want them to beat him with straps. Like, I want to see this man get the shit beat out of him. So, I'm excited for that. The stuff with Emma is great because she's a great talent. And even though she went to Impact to be the big fish in the small pond, it didn't really quite work out for her. She never really got her feet under her there because there was always people ahead of her. It felt like Taya was ahead of her for a while and Rosemary, and they were kind of switching people in and out. And Impact is so whatever these days. Like, you don't know who's going where. But it's good to see her land there. I thought she might end up in AEW, and they may have offered her, but she probably said, you know what, I'm probably better in Triple H's hands. If you want a mid-card women's title, which we got to eliminate one world title first, because like we can't have two, then the tag. It's messy. So she would be a good contender for that mid-card title. I could see her doing that. But what I fear is they're going to put her in a makeshift tag team, and they're going to stick her with somebody like Carmella, and I'm going to hate my life. The only thing missing, from the Emma package.
You don't want to see both of them come out doing this?
I'm good.
I'm
good.
bad.
I'm good. I really am. The only thing missing from the Emma presentation for me, the music. The music is wrong. We need the evil Emma music back, but I don't know if that's a CFO song, which them in WWE have all those songs got changed. So I don't know if that's a thing, but we need the evil Emma music back. Always good to see her. Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy with the Zeke the Plumber mask. If you know that reference, thank you very much. We were kids at the same time. So all in all, a great episode of SmackDown. Really enjoyed it. Glad I got to catch it before we came on air.
Yeah. So let me say two things. We mentioned the Usi stuff, or the Uso stuff. Oh, Jesus. Being the best thing. I think the Bray Wyatt stuff is catching up quickly. And it is about, to me, equal. We've had more time with the Uso stuff, but this Bray Wyatt stuff is just kind of next world level type shit. One thing is really good at what it does. The other thing is excellent at what it does. So it is fun to watch both of those things on the same program. That's what I mean. Just the acting going on here from everybody involved. Even Heyman, who is rarely seen in the in-ring stuff, making any comments. He's just kind of sitting back. Him reacting to the events that are happening is just a great, like, nice little layer that you catch if you're watching it. That adds even more drama to and emotion to what you're seeing in the back and forth. So it's great stuff. It's like having that good ensemble character that just comes in and kills it every time in a Coen Brothers film. That's what Heyman feels like to me right now, because Sami is taking the focus, the Usos are taking the focus, Roman Reigns is taking the focus. When Heyman has to do his thing, slides in, does his thing, and it's perfect, and he's out. And so it's all working so well. By the way, Jimmy was giving away the joke before Sami dropped it. If you guys were watching, Jimmy started laughing before Sami even said he's not feeling Usi. So he knew already.
Well, they already did a promo. They already did a promo with him saying that.
Yeah,
so
right. Exactly. Right. So he knew
it's already there. So they know it. But again, to watch Jimmy just,
Jimmy was like, he's trying to hide himself in his arms and shit. And then Jay breaking was just perfect, just absolute perfect. But Reigns, all credit, Reigns smiled into it. He leaned into the laughter by being like, okay, all right, if that's where we're going, is that what's going on here? So he played it like a pro, man, like he is now, which is just great to see. So all of that is fantastic. Emma coming back is good. We'll see what the second run is going to be like. I don't have a lot of faith in Emma. I think she's one of those mid-carders that occasionally spikes up but doesn't quite have that extra thing that you can't quite put your finger on, but that makes the greats, differentiates the greats from the okays. And I think she's okay and she's good at times, but she's never been fully over. And I wonder if this run will play itself out, or if she'll become the Ruby Soho of the comebacks for WWE like she is at AEW. I don't know. We'll see. That's what I kind of look at in my mind. New Day is winning. Strowman should not talk ever again. Shinsuke coming back. He's the patron saint of the show. We named it after him. So it's always great to see him there. Yeah, I agree with you guys on Karrion Kross. It's starting to not work for me, which I was kind of, creating space for it to be okay and kind of be on board with it. Now it's starting to not work for me. And the Bray Wyatt stuff, oh my God. This, as an actor, as a creator, was one of the things that really, that's why I keep talking about pro wrestling, because I love the storylines and the acting and the way they lay stuff out. This guy is, they say once in a generational talent. As far as storytelling, this guy is a once in a millennium talent. Like, it really is incredible what he's able to do in what he's telling in his story. I mean, there's a future when he retires that he goes in the back and just starts creating all kinds of angles for people. And he's the guy for new generations that people go to be like, I want to do this. Tell me how I can make this angle last for 6 months or whatever. So this is a genius as a creator. And don't be surprised if down the road, Rocha hits
Or Australian slander. You got the
you're not
Iconics.
wrong.
You
I
got
don't like that
Emma.
accent. I really am not a fan of the
Jeez.
Australian
You know,
accent.
there's one other thing about Bray Wyatt, real quick, that we keep forgetting to mention. We keep talking about the mask, but everybody forgetting one important thing: his new music.
Yeah.
And I need you to pay attention to it. How it's a storytelling music.
Yeah. Yep.
Because if you listen to it when he does the promos, it's real story. Then it gets real, just creepy at the right time when his shit changes, and people like, wait, is this playing? It is like that's the genius of this character on every level. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No. It's perfect, Jay. You're absolutely right. Thanks for adding that, because you're right. He's staging this correctly. He is working with everything is happening at the same time. He is literally scoring his own scene. That tells you the genius of where he's operating from. Everything is a great short film, and it's always fun to rewatch it and pick things out. Like great films, you can watch it over and over again and pick things out that you didn't see the first couple times or whatever. So it's just genius what we're getting all around from him. So those are
White Rabbit in general, RW, Random Rotunda. It was in front of our faces the whole time, and we never even thought about it.
Also, the way White Rabbit was supposed to be spelled, it's actually Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt. It was everything was right here.
Yeah.
But also, there's one person we got to give a lot of credit to when it comes to Bray, the late great Dusty Rhodes, baby. Because Dusty helped him. He knew what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And Dusty helped him take the original Bray Wyatt Waylon Mercy gimmick and took it over to the next level. And then dude's brain clicked in, and the rest is we're watching it.
Yeah. Great point, Jay. Absolutely great point. All right. Anything more to add on SmackDown? Because we can get on out of here if we feel like it. Anything more you guys want to talk about? Any of the
I don't want Ronda Rousey on TV ever until she learns what a personality is.
Stop it.
Bro, I think we've hit the ceiling. There's no
She's got a personality. It's just not a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, Ronda don't know how. Ronda, you're a heel. Ronda, you're a face. Like, you don't know what emotion you need to be when Joan Jett starts playing. Like, I can't. She's the baddest woman on the planet. Bad at certain things. Like, I'm not afraid of her. Like, if I'm a woman in this division, I'm not afraid of her as I should be. The Ronda Rousey, baddest woman on the planet, has seemingly been exposed a long time ago. Shouts out to the man, Becky Lynch. Expose that. And then you got to have Liv Morgan, who was just like, I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. And it was like, well, you're not trying hard enough. Give it back to Ronda. What?
Yeah.
Two things. First of all, when you said that maybe they're going to put Emma in a tag team, I wouldn't mind seeing her back with Dana Brooke. I like the two of them together.
Okay, that'd be fine.
Back in the day.
All right, fine.
Don't do mid-card me.
Dana Brooke is mid-card, and you know it.
When they were a team, they were really, really good.
God damn it. Dana Brooke is a former 24/7 champion.
That's right. Put some respect on.
She got that belt taken away from her unceremoniously, I might add.
Well, so is Rob Gronkowski, if I remember correctly. So anyway, go ahead.
Your acting
and secondly,
partner, Rob Gronkowski.
I'm glad you brought up the music, Jay, because that's part of Ronda's problem. The bad reputation does not fit.
No,
I agree.
What they want her to be.
I agree.
Like, it starts playing, and you kind of want to get a little hype to that music, but then this person that you don't like comes walking out from the curtain. And
now you'd rather admit, I don't give a damn about my reputation.
Yeah. And it's like, no, that's just not right. So I would change that. I would limit the way that her speaking. Let Shayna be the personality in this group. But you don't need to speak that much. She don't need to speak that much.
I know that's why Shayna be the personality.
What I mean is when Shayna wrestles. When she wrestles, at least when you see who she is through her moveset, 100%. Her facials, and all that stuff. That's what
Shayna's a better storyteller in the ring than Ronda. Absolutely. Better wrestler than Ronda. Absolutely. And better all around. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
I just thought about somebody that's going to come back now.
Who's that?
Nia Jax.
No.
Oh, no.
Why not? Imagine.
Why not? If Braun Strowman can come back, Why can't Nia Jax?
Because she hurts people. Strowman didn't hurt people. He had different.
He hurts my ears and eyes. Why?
He tried to hurt Brock Lesnar, and that did not go well.
Hey, I will tell everybody to this day, he hit Brock. Brock was like, bitch, and jaw checked him one time. Never.
I'm telling you, it's one of my favorite wrestling moments in 20 years.
When Braun Strowman got hit by Brock Lesnar, it changed that man's soul. You watch him go, oh, shit. Like,
it was on the
I will say this about Nia.
Yeah.
She is a member of the Bloodline. In IRL. She is a member of the Bloodline. Not too long ago, they did a whole video of The Rock buying her a house.
Yeah.
No, that was Tamina.
That was Tamina.
Oh, it was Tamina.
Yeah.
It was Tamina.
That's the wrong one. Hey, don't do this.
My bad. She's in the
Nia said,
too.
Oh, somebody said Nia said she ain't got no interest in returning to wrestling. Okay, cool. Because I'm like, Triple H bringing motherfuckers back. Like,
I was about to say, The Rock worked hard. To spoilers for Black Adam if you ain't seen it. But The Rock worked hard to bring Henry Cavill back into the DCEU. And he said it was a labor of love to get him back and all that shit. And good Lord Almighty, if he wouldn't have sway to be like, hey, y'all bring my cousin
I need everybody in this. I need Rikishi back on commentary. I need Rikishi's cousin Reno back. I want every goddamn person in the Anoa'i family back. I want
the Tongan kid.
I want the whole SmackDown roster to be nothing but the Samoan dynasty. And guess what Triple H will probably say? Dwayne, listen, I can do this. However,
Gonna need you to show up at WrestleMania. Gonna need you to wrestle
Joe.
That man, somebody, I think it was Chris said, he don't have nothing on his books from January to April.
It's true. I do think The Rock's taking a little bit too much credit for Henry Cavill coming back. There were other people working on that too.
No, it is. First of all, I know this ain't. Let me tell you something. Who is Henry Cavill's manager?
And Danny Garcia.
Who is The Rock's manager?
And ex-wife, Danny Garcia.
Okay. Guess how much power The Rock has? Dwayne Johnson was able to go over Hamada's head to the heads of Warner Brothers Film and was like, I'm going to tell you what's about to happen. I need him. You want me more? You give me him. And then they were like, he is the biggest grossing box office actor right now in history. Yeah. Tell some he ain't gonna get too much credit. Who the fuck else was pushing?
I'm not saying they deserve credit. I'm just saying there's other.
Who else? John, who else was pushing for it? What? Nobody but Dwayne and his nipples. What? Nobody pushing for this shit.
Hello.
Pre or post op?
Oh, all right.
Post gynecomastia, post steroid titties. I'm talking all HGH 18 doctor certified rock titties.
Thank you, Brian Brawler. Great show, people. K-Dog saying, could they do a 2-woman power trip with Ronda and Shayna? Is that
hell no? Because they got to talk. No,
give them a mouthpiece. Somebody can talk. There's somebody there who can talk.
Well, I'm excited next week when Summer Rae comes back.
So, oh my God.
Lord,
let's go. Let's go.
Hey, what happens if Fandango comes? Hey, what happens if the Fashion Police show back up?
They could.
They definitely could.
You know who might show up?
Who?
Ruby Soho. Depending on her situation, because they're not using her in AEW.
You're the only person that wants her to show up.
I'm not saying I want her. I'm saying she might. I'm
gonna tell you why I want her to show up. I want her to show up just so they can give me the Riot Squad again, because that'll be the best. Because look, we all know good goddamn well this Sarah Logan and the Viking Raiders shit is not gonna last.
That's not.
It's Chris, don't look out the window. Don't you look at the goddamn window, because we know it's not gonna goddamn last. We know we're gonna be like, it's Sarah Logan. It's Sarah Logan. Like, that's literally what it's going to be.
If you bring the Riot Squad back, that's a great way to redeem Liv.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it works storyline wise, because if she's in this dark place, who else is going to help her climb out of it but her friends? So they all coming together to save her or to bring her back. That could absolutely work. And then Ruby is no longer the leader. It's Liv. And that's Liv as well. Yeah.
And then eventually you can have the Liv, because you never got them to split up. Look, you better accept it, goddammit. Look, we need more mid-card story. We need more mid-card storylines.
Yes, you do.
That don't always evolve into title pitches. No matter how much we look. That's why Miniature Cross is in all these pictures because because Tiny Tim cannot be.
Come on now.
He cannot be in. Look, him versus Drew McIntyre was only just to say, Drew, you need a paycheck? Yeah. All right, cool. You get this dude in the leather jacket who now grew his hair out to look like a badass. He looked like Deuce and Domino 10 years later. But that's all.
out of line, out of pocket. No.
We got a Streamlab that came through from Justin Toner. He said, "Hi guys, NXT is still hit and miss, but man, I felt sorry for The Rock's daughter debuting as the newest member of Schism with Joey Gacy. Yuck. I know Aaron dreads the day it will happen, but who is taking the title off Mandy Rose in NXT?" Yeah.
I don't know if it's Nikita. It's going to be Nikita.
It's going to be Nikita.
It's going to be Maga the Stallion.
I mean, Maga the Stallion. Could be Cora Jade after that. All right, young
it's not Cora Jade. Stop.
It's not? Okay.
It's Maga the Stallion. If it's not Maga the Stallion, it's Zoe Stark.
Zoe. It has to be Zoe. That's what I think. Yeah. Young boy says, "Gentlemen, just realized, isn't it kind of wild that mostly everyone involved in the all-out brawl is pretty much straight edge?" Oh, yeah.
Straight. Let me tell you something about, not being in the business at all. Straight edge. Sure, buddy. Sure.
I have nothing to say.
You can believe that bullshit if you want to. I'm going to tell you straight. I'm going to say it. You can believe everybody in that is straight. Okay. Yeah. Who? No. CM Punk said he's never done drugs. Okay. The Bucks say they don't do that. All right. Kenny Omega said, have you looked at Kenny Omega? What are you talking about?
I'm looking to see if Tony Khan is outside my window.
It's like,
don't worry, he wouldn't say anything.
It's like Halloween. You just look over and he's across the street, just standing over the
They say Tony Khan just hits the Michael Myers theme.
Fletcher says, "Microcross, you guys have been on fire today." There you go, Microcross.
Could you imagine Tony? Could you imagine Mega driving the motorcycle and Tony Khan is on the back, like in Halloween Ends?
Oh my god! Yikes.
Holding on to Mega the whole time.
I'm feeling my press passes to AEW slipping away out of my hands.
Just like the elite,
every episode.
Just like the elite in that promo, they're just disappearing into your hands.
Snap.
Also, again, with Ava Rain and Schism, like her being the first fourth generation wrestler, everybody was like, "How do you know that that's how can you tell that that's The Rock's daughter? Look at that jawline."
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, she gotta I seen it. I guess it's something about the makeup they did on her that pronounced her jawline for some reason." But you know what? I'm just gonna stop talking.
There's no person that looks both the mix of their mother and dad like her. She looks just like both of them.
Oh, this is great. Says Chris Burns is going to be chased by a coked up Tony.
Stop this!
Allegedly.
Stop this! I'm being blocked on all the text threads currently. I know it. I feel it. I'm currently being blocked. I know it. It's not good.
So much seltzer water.
Jeremy, no. Jeremy said she could play Black Adam and nobody would notice. Jeremy, no.
I'm gonna go get up out of here. Oh, that is so petty. That is so petty.
Jeremy, no.
Shazam!
You guys are too much, man. Y'all are out of control.
I'm a fan of Adam Smasher personally, but
probably the only person who was.
Yeah,
I thought he was funny.
I thought Quintessa was good in the film when they allowed her to be on screen.
Adam Smasher was pointless.
Yeah, I agree. There was nothing. But I mean, right now the Rock, Black Adam is projected to be 24 million this weekend, but already this past Friday it dropped 72% from the previous Friday. So I mean,
I will just say that it's widely available. Let's just put it that way.
It's not
widely available.
Everybody was like, "Oh, this gonna kill all the box office. It's gonna shatter the DCEU."
Yeah.
I was like, "Wait till week 2."
Yeah.
That's why Dwayne Johnson finna be on every daytime talk show. He finna be on the Kelly Clarkson show to promote this movie. He gonna be on The View. I'll tell you about my Republican policies later, but Black Adam is still in the.
There go my WrestleMania tickets. There they go.
Damn it.
There they go. I just saw it.
Damn it.
I just saw him fly out the window. I just saw him. Damn it.
Oh, man.
Goddamn it.
Let's right the ship. Let's give something away.
Let's
Let's
get
do
out of
it.
here. Yeah, what do you got? What do you got to give
It's-
away?
So it's spooky season. I have this Alexa Bliss spooky Funko Pop. If you're a diehard Funko collector, it's got some corner issues if that's your deal. But I want someone in the chat to tell me, who did Alexa Bliss defeat to win her first SmackDown Women's Championship?
And
I will
only
wait.
answer if you want to win this thing. Only answer
Yeah.
if you want to win this thing.
Alexa Bliss Funko Pop. It's free. It's free. I'm just gonna ship it to you for free. So go ahead. And while that's happening, I got a trivia question for y'alls.
All right, go ahead.
All right, this is for all three. Who did Ric Flair fight in his first ever match? Ric Flair.
Chief J Strongbow.
No, he did not.
Harley
But
Race?
I will give you 4 options, and then you can mull that over.
Okay.
Is it A, George Scrap Iron Gadaski? Is it B, Dusty Rove? Is it C, Andre the Giant? Or D, very problematic, Wahoo McDaniel?
I almost said Wahoo McDaniel, so I'm going to go with Wahoo McDaniel.
No.
Also, is Becky Lynch the winner? Is Becky Lynch the winner?
That is correct, Becky Lynch.
All right, E-Reaper42. Do you want him to DM you, Aaron?
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter, or you can email me, aaronturner8617@gmail.com.
There you go.
We'll get it out to you.
Okay.
But yeah,
We're
so
interested.
it is not
Wait,
Wahoo
wait.
McDaniel.
Damn.
It's got to be the scrap guy or whatever. Those other names are people that mean something. And if it was his first
Andre
match-
the Giant. I don't think he was wrestling. No, not
Yeah.
no.
Are
Andre.
you throwing shade at George Scrap Iron Gadaski?
yeah.
Yeah, who in the fuck is George Scrap?
Well, he probably main evented many shows in Florida. Yes, that is correct. It is that guy.
Gotta
So
be.
there you go.
First match against Dusty Rhodes? Like what? No. He looked a lot like Dusty at the time, which is
Hey,
crazy.
Ken of Daisy, when do we get those Jay Washington Funko Pops? Well, somebody is nice enough to say, hey, I want to order a personalized Jay Washington Funko Pop and send it to Jay. And then someone can do that. And then they can hit me up on my Instagram or my Twitter at Mr. J Washington. And then they can say, hey, what do we want your Funko Pop to look like? And I would say, I don't want it to look like Luther. Don't put me in a black polo and some jeans. I'll send you a perfect picture of the Urban Gladiator himself, and you can do that. You see how I did that cheap plug real quick? All right, cool.
That was good.
Guys, just tweet at Funko Pop. It's wash time it's in abundance. Just over and over again. It's wash time. It's wash time. It's wash time. It's wash time. Jay loves it. He personally told me that he loves it.
I'm gonna say this on this show where this shit started real quick. Let me get
that's
this
how
out
it's
the
gonna
way.
get done.
Let me get
That's
this
how
out
it's
the
gonna
way
get
right
done.
now.
The only way it's gonna get done.
I'm gonna tell you about
Wash
Christopher
time.
Burns and how much a horrible fucking person he is.
Here he is.
I have to leave.
There we
I have
go.
to leave.
No, you ain't gotta leave, bitch. You got another 6 minutes. You don't go.
4 minutes. 4 minutes. All right, let's get out of here. I gotta
started
get
this, and every time we at the club, one of the clubs, he just goes, "It's wash time," and then he got random ass comics seeing me saying that. I was like, "I will fight you." Just
No, it
By
doesn't.
the way,
doesn't hit.
Go ahead, Aaron. What did you say?
Doesn't hit for me. I don't like it. But Black Dude Content Club shirt coming soon.
Yeah,
I will work on that
BDCC
for you
is good.
guys.
By the way, please watch Abbott Elementary this week, just for Quinta Brunson's James Harden outfit. That costume.
oh my god, that
was-
beard!
Fucking genius, man. I was laughing so hard through that whole episode.
Shouts out to my homegirl Janelle James, who in that
Oh.
storm costume.
That was hilarious as well, right? It was
Lord.
so good.
Lord.
And Lisa and
bless you.
Walter hold no when he pulled
Yo,
the Line
Lisa
Stone
and-
off of-
Bro, Lisa Ann Walter is God-given, thick and amazing and beautiful in person.
Fair enough.
What you see on the TV don't do justice to seeing that woman in person.
And what you see on the TV is exactly how she is in real life. When I did that movie with Gronkowski, she was on for a few days. She's a pistol and a pill, and I love her to death, man. She's awesome.
Wait, you're talking about a different Lisa Ann, yeah?
Lisa Ann Walter. That's what I.
Oh, okay. Moving on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's like the second reference. Is there something we need to know?
Sports? Are you talking about sports podcast personality?
All right, we got to get out of here before we get in trouble. Anyway, all right, thank you all so much for joining us here on Strong Side. We appreciate it madly. Fun time for all four of us hanging out for sure. To our guest, Jay Washington, first and foremost, Jay, we know it's tough for you to get up early in the morning, hang out with us, but we appreciate it madly. Hope you had a good time. Please tell everybody where they can find you and everything going on, brother man. When your water clears.
Just let me pitch to him first, yeah.
All right, let's pitch to Aaron. Then Aaron, tell everyone where they can find you. We'll swing back to Jay when he's done swallowing.
You can find me on Twitter at @OnlyAaronTurner. Once again,
pause, by the way, Rocha. Pause.
Sorry, pause.
Let him swallow.
Find me there.
Yep.
Find me there. I will be out of pocket somewhere.
At Only Aaron Turner for sure. And of course, on the TikTok as well, Strong Style Live. Aaron doing great work over there. So please make sure you follow us on TikTok. Aaron's doing fantastic stuff. Chris Burns, another fun show. What do you got?
Clearly, you won't be finding me at any wrestling events because I've been disinvited because of this episode. But that's all right. That's okay. You can find me at Chris_please for all the stuff I got going on. You know, I've always got some adventures happening.
Yeah, right on. And back to Mr. Jay Washington. Jay, please tell them where you're at and everything they can do to follow you, man.
Whew, I am. Lisa Ann, is that? Yo!
Speaking of swallowing.
Oh, okay.
I need a washcloth now. I need a washcloth.
I want these things called Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. All those you can find me at Mr. J Washington. I'm uniform across the board. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Mr. J Washington. The Mad Titan podcast every Monday, wherever you get your podcast from. I get you caught up on all the things happening in the Marvel and DC live action cinematic universes. The Barbershop Talk for Nerds. The season finale of American Gigolo is this week, and I am back on, so you can check it out. If you have streaming on Showtime, you can see it already. If you don't, just regular Showtime. It drops tomorrow, Sunday. And Black Dude Content Club coming with me, one of my homies, and some bitch ass dude that I hate with passion. That
oh my god, wow.
Yeah. You see, I said some bitch ass dude.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't have Showtime, you can get a 7-day free trial so you can catch up on the entire season. And
you
watch
can catch the entire season now. Yep,
absolutely. All right, thank you all. As for me, you follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, The Outlaw Nation on Twitch. And please remember to subscribe to the channel down below. Trying to get that 25,000 subscribers mark. We're almost at 24,200. So get us, if you haven't subscribed, get us as close to that as possible as we go along. A lot of reviews coming up over the next few days. Banshees of Inisherin. I'm going to try to see that Tar movie as well. And also, and also All Quiet on the Western Front, which dropped on Netflix. So look for that stuff this weekend. Don't forget, Geek Buddies dropped a bunch of reviews this week. Go and enjoy that. We had a live show yesterday, which was a lot of fun. And the most recent episode of The Hot Mic with me and Jeff Snyder, dropping all kinds of Marvel scoops that Deadline didn't want to give us credit for. So fuck them. All right, take care of yourselves. Be well. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of Strong Style. Peace.